Tonight, President Trump says the United States will blockade the Strait of Hormuz, stepping up pressure on Iran after peace talks in Pakistan ended without a breakthrough. The waterway is a critical trade route and the shipment of 1/5 of the world's oil supply. And this weekend, U.S. warships crossed the strait for the first time since the war began to begin clearing Iranian mines. Tonight, a new CBS poll shows President Trump taking a hit. 64% of Americans now disapprove of his handling of the situation in Iran, and even more, 66% say the Trump administration has not clearly explained U.S. goals. And we begin tonight with CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab in Islamabad. Imtiaz, good evening to you.
Tom, good evening. Well, the region is really on edge tonight as the U.S.-Iran peace talks break down without a deal, threatening a fragile ceasefire, the global economy, and the very real risk of returning to all-out war.
As Vice President J.D. Vance arrived in Islamabad, there was a real sense of optimism here. Special envoys Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner also joined. They arrived just hours after the Iranian delegation, led by the Speaker of Parliament Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. The Pakistani hosts, who helped broker the fragile 2-week ceasefire so these talks could happen, had gathered the world's media at a convention center close to the luxury hotel where the negotiations were held, to cover what would become the highest-level face-to-face meetings between top American and Iranian political leaders since the 1979 revolution. And after 21 hours of marathon talks, Vice President Vance emerged at 6 a.m. local time and said this.
We've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America.
A U.S. official close to the talks told CBS News the United States and Iran did not reach an agreement on all of the following points: ending uranium enrichment, dismantling enrichment facilities, retrieving uranium stockpiles, accepting a broader regional peace, ending funding for proxies like Hezbollah in Lebanon, and perhaps most urgently, fully reopening the Strait of Hormuz and charging no tolls for passage. Major issues which throw into question whether the shaky ceasefire would hold until the April 26